All right, let me get this adjusted a little. There we go. How is everybody tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. Good evening. I I wanted we're going to talk about what you just sent me as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I'll explain why. Um, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you've all had a good week so far. It's Wednesday already. I was working on a project today, something different. I'm gonna wait for I have more hands to help with the whole gutter situation. So that's on hold. Again, I appreciate everybody's advice, the comments, the suggestions. That was awesome. So thank you guys. I do appreciate that. So yeah, when I was doing that, I was like, this does not seem right. So well, I won't screw it up again next time, right? But all right. So before we jump into everything here, I just want to remind everybody this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Just be decent with each other, and we'll have a good chat. We'll have a good time. All right. And if you can't abide by those easy, simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, they will boot you out of here because we're not going to tolerate that. So, all right. So bail reform. We're going to talk about bail reform. I have a story to tell you guys in this situation of this bail reform and what they are doing, what they are. It's insanity. It is absolutely complete insanity. And I'm gonna relate a story. I'm not gonna give names. It's somebody that I know though, and it's a situation that happened to this family. Okay. So the grandson was 35 years old, a meth head, had been living with grandma, right? So grandma's walks around with a walker. And I want you, so I'm going to lay the background for you first, okay? Well, of course, this meth head gets a check every month from the government for 1,500 bucks. Of course, why not? Why wouldn't he, right? Because he's disabled, I'm sure. I'm sure that's the reason. And I'm going to bring this up farther because somebody said they're not hearing me too well. All right, so is that better? Gene, is that better? Can you hear me better now? So anyway, the gentleman ended up going to jail. So the government, good, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Good, okay. Um, so the government said to this grandmother, "You need to send that $1,500 back for that particular month because he was in jail, right?" So she did, and this kid thought that grandma kept his money. She showed him the proof that she had to give this money back, right? He didn't buy it because he's a meth head and he wants his money so he can go do drugs, right? Awesome society that we have, wonderful system, amazing, right? So said individual comes to grandma's house in the middle of the night, starts messing around outside, destroying some of her stuff outside. She thinks it might possibly be a bear. She doesn't know. He comes into the house, destroys her panel box, demands money, pushes grandma in her walker, right? So he assaults her, breaks into her home, assaults her, and so she gives him money because she wants him to leave because that's what he wants money, right? So he leaves. Grandma calls the police. And here's the best part of this is New York, guys, too, by the way. New York bail reform. All right. I know they're doing the same thing in California and other places as well. Took out the panel box. Yep. Destroyed everything in there. So he gets arrested. And guess what? They let him right go. They let him go again right away. Charge him with a couple of misdemeanors because everything is now downgraded, right? There's, you know, heaven forbid that he would assault, you know, grandma, and that's perfectly fine. And they said, well, so the cop tells a family member, because the one family member wants to kill this kid, which is completely understandable. I would hurt him beyond belief if he put hands on grandma. Okay. Yeah, no cash bail, right? So it's a revolving door. So the cops told this gentleman, you have three choices of what you can do. You can move your mother out of the house. You can have somebody move in with her full time, you know, or there was one other thing. Then all three were like ridiculous because there's no way to stop the grandson, because if they arrest him again, all they're going to do is release him again anyway. How insane that in our society today, that an elderly woman living by herself, walking around with a walker, should have to live in that kind of fear. And just so you guys know, and some of you are going to say, well, she should get a restraining order. A restraining order, folks, is a piece of paper. A piece of paper, all right, uh, means nothing. I always told people that, our system is so messed up, so messed up. And so, if you listen to the reason that they said they wanted to do bail reform, was because it's disproportionately affecting the minorities and poor people, and all this type of stuff. Well, here's a light in the window for you guys. If you are committing crimes, it doesn't matter what demographics you come from. You know, you should be dealing with the consequences of that. The fact that this person would do this. But again, it's drugs. But now if the family members retaliate, okay, and go and beat this kid's behind, which is what I will tell you what, there would be zero question. In my I'll put it like this: heaven help the SOB to put their hands on my mother, okay, family member or not. I actually had that situation happen one time, and it was dealt with accordingly. you know you can't you don't put your hands on, especially grandma. So now if they do vigilante justice, right, and they go and they put a butt whipping on him and he presses charges, they'll probably go to jail because they did bodily harm. Now how insane is that? So he would definitely be getting an attitude readjustment. I definitely, there would be no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And but yeah, it's insanity today, insanity. But these people, and I read an article, and this was out in California. Okay, this was out in California. Had a guy get arrested 3 times within 24 hours, and every time gave him an appearance ticket, and out the door he went. And he was stealing cars. So he stole a car, got caught, went to jail, uh, processed him through, put him out on his street again. He went right out, stole another car, got caught again, arrested, back to jail, let him out again, and did it again. So what they're doing, and I'm going to give you you know, my opinion of what they're doing. It's like it's almost, and I'm not saying that this is the case, so I don't want to be accused of giving false information, but it appears that these things are being done on purpose so that crime goes out of control. I don't get it. And the scumbags realize that they're not going to get locked up. They're not going to be sitting in a jail cell. They're going to be right back on the street. Yeah, that kind of crap would stop if they got super tough on people. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Good question, or a good statement. It's insanity. And heaven forbid that you, as Joe Citizen, retaliate against somebody that does something like this. You're the one that's going to get in trouble. I read a story, and there was a father, and I don't blame him for this at all. Okay, uh, this kid had tricked his daughter out, got her hooked on drugs, and then turned her into a prostitute and all this type of stuff. And then she came, back home, got squared away and stuff like that, and they were giving her the help that she needed. The father went out and he killed that guy, and they eventually found him and they caught him because he just killed him and put him in the trunk of a car, and it just sat there for like months. But I'm going to tell you what, There are certain people, okay? There are certain people you don't screw with because family is really important to some people. And so, you know, it, it what kills me too is this, okay? Those type of people that do that type of stuff to elderly people or women or something like that, you face them down, they got no stones. They're the first one yelling, I'll call the police. I'll call the police. Uh, Unbelievable. Unbelievable to me. Well, like what I'll tell you what I said, JJ. Somebody like that, if they got a broken leg, they can't get up and walk around and go hurt nobody, can they? Now, accidents happen. So, but it's just it's it is insanity. Yeah, make an example out of those criminals. Well, and we need to get back to that. Yeah, and then they sue you. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. If you do something, then they sue you. But it's well, obviously you wouldn't admit to it. It's not like you'd be like, oh yes, officer, I did this because they did that. You know, but now I had a family member one time put his hands on my sister, and then put their hands on my mother. And I can tell you this right now. Like I said, I'm not the toughest guy in the world. I don't claim to be the toughest guy in the world, but only one time in my life, and you probably have heard the term temporary insanity. That's what happened to me. I absolutely lost my mind. I saw my sister, and my sister had a cut under her eye, and then I saw him, and it was on. It was on, and and he was like, oh, let's talk, and I was not having any talk that night. There was no talking. So not a good situation, and especially when it's family. But I will say this: in that situation, his brother was there, and his brother grabbed me and was like, and I'll never forget it because I had completely, when I say temporary insanity, I completely lost it. I lost all control, and I was putting a beat down on this individual, and his brother grabbed me, and he was like, Ed, he goes, you can't, and it kind of like snapped me, out of it. But it just, I lost it. I absolutely lost it because, I'm gonna, and I've talked about this before. You don't touch my women, okay? That's my sister, my mother, my niece. Don't put your hands on them because if you put their hands on them and or my daughter, obviously, obviously my daughter, you put your hands on them, you're mine. I don't care. Like I said, life in prison at my age is not that scary. It's really not. So, but I'm not going to have anybody think that they can, you know, I talked my way out of an attempt with a knife when I was 16. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. But, and like I said, I am not a tough guy. I don't pretend to be a tough guy. I don't go around thinking I'm Billy Bad A. Okay, I don't. I will try to avoid trouble if it's at all possible. But if the situation comes up and things need to be dealt with, I have absolutely no problem doing what I have to do, and lose no sleep over it. So, but yeah, yeah, teddy bear tough. Yeah, exactly. Hey, like I said, you just don't, you don't put your hands on certain people. And first of all, realistically, to the men out here watching this stream, you shouldn't be putting your hands on any women. Period. Okay, you really shouldn't. And I know people do, and I know it happens. And the wives will go back, or the girlfriends will go back and back and back, and eventually, what ends up happening, the guy ends up killing her, or she kills him, and then she's the bad guy, right? I mean, it's happened over and over and over. Yeah, verbally abusive is just as bad. Yes, verbal abuse can be just as bad as physical abuse. There's no reason to call anybody foul, nasty, disgusting names. And I will tell you this, guys, okay? And I want you to remember this one. If you're in a relationship with somebody, and they are accusing you of doing something like cheating, for an example, If you're in that relationship and your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend is saying, "Oh, you're cheating on me. I know you're cheating on me." Generally, 9 times out of 10, they are the one cheating on you. It happens. So, but yeah, it's just crazy, crazy world we're living in right now. These laws that they've put on the books are definitely geared towards helping criminals, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So they know they can do whatever they want to do, unless she's big enough to play linebacker for the Cowboys. Well, I'm going to tell you what, their abuse goes both ways, guys. There are women that abuse their husbands, okay, and it happens. I've seen that as well, and that's not okay either. That is not okay either. So, just but like I said, the majority of the time, yeah, Johnny Depp's a good example of that. He was dealing with a lot of, you know, crap from her, and she cried and played the victim, and she's not believable. So, um, it's just, and here's the other thing that does happen a lot. A lot of times, women are pissed off at their husband, boyfriend, or whatever the case may be. They call the cops and say, "Hit me," and they hit themselves, and because they have a mark on their face, he goes to jail. I mean, those type of things absolutely happen as well. So again, there is a certain level of crazy that's okay if you're in a relationship. A little bit of crazy is okay, but when you get up to that 7, 8, 9 scale of crazy, it's best not to get involved with that. That's just some good advice from me to you. I've dealt with a few of those. Yeah, I married one, my first wife. Yeah, she was something. She was special. She was special. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, so if you guys have not, the Hot Crazy Matrix. Oh my God, that is. I actually just I called Ronnie today, and I actually have it on my Facebook page. But what I said to him was, I said, if you just look it up, and I looked it up on my phone real quick, and it's the Hot Crazy Matrix. So there's a guy that does this thing, and it is hilarious, very very funny. And so if you want a good laugh, go check out the Hot Crazy Matrix. Look it up on YouTube, and you'll find it. But yeah, and so, but yeah, when you're dealing with a certain level, when your life is in danger, when you're in a relationship with somebody, that's a real good time to get out of that relationship. That's men or women. So my husband pushed me around in the kitchen, slamming me up against the cabinets. I pulled out a butcher knife and chased him out of the house. He didn't come home for 4 hours. He didn't do it again. Good. Well, that's the other thing. If they know that they can get away with it, if people know that they can get away with that behavior, they're going to keep doing it. You know, you just got to let people know where you stand. My biggest thing is, if you're in that situation, you need to get out of that situation, male or female. So, but yeah, crazy stuff. Well, look at Lorena Bobbitt. Remember that one, guys? When she got her husband and she cut off his stuff and drove away and threw it out the window. That's a special kind of crazy right there. I mean, I don't know what had happened or what was going on there in their relationship. I don't know all the details of that, but so the cops had to go and retrieve. Could you imagine? What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for a male appendage that somebody threw out the window. So yeah, so I had my first wife pull a knife on me one time, and it was a butcher knife, and I got into a stance, and I was like, "Bring it on." You're going to come at me with a knife. I am going to defend myself. Now, in that situation, you have to defend yourself. If somebody's coming at you with a knife, you don't know what their intentions are. I didn't try to attack her. I stood my ground, and I figured if she came at me, then I would do what I had to do, and she knew it. She stopped. She stopped right there. And that, yeah. So that was that. And so what? You know what? I stayed with her for quite a while after that because I was a lot younger then. So, but yeah, it was. You just don't know. You just don't know. Um, and I'll tell you what. The only emotion I think that is stronger than love is hate. And when they stop loving you and start hating you, then you're in trouble. And that's either way. That's either way. I was in a room, JJ, when that happened. I was in a room and I couldn't get out of the room. And so she came into a room, a bedroom, um, and came at me with a knife. And so I just got myself in a defensive stance and I just said, okay, let's go. You want to go? Let's go. So, yeah, you don't piss off Italian women. And let's correct that. Sicilian Italian women. Sicilian Italian women, guys, no joke. A lot of fun, great cooks, but the elevators are not going all the way to the top. And I can't say all Sicilian Italian women, so please don't say the Prepper Nurse One said all Sicilian Italian women are this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if there was a study done, uh, it would say that a lot of Sicilian women, they're not to be trifled with. I'll just put it like that. But yeah, like I said, you can never let anybody hurt you. That's definitely something that you have to deal with. So, but good times, good times. I'm glad I'm not dealing with any of that, and I never dealt with that in my second marriage. I can tell you that, because I was like, listen, you know, I'm not down for fighting. I don't like yelling and screaming. I don't like calling each other names. I don't want to do that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I just. So we had our arguments, of course, but who doesn't when you're married for any length of time? But yeah, it was never any physical craziness. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about what Asif had sent me a thing about the volcano Toga, I think it was. It was a volcano. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you could say the name in the chat. But it said it put a lot of water into the upper atmosphere when it went off, and they were saying that because of all that water. Oh, it's an underwater volcano. Okay. They're saying because of all that water going up into the upper atmosphere, it could possibly, uh, you know, warm the planet. The planet could get warmer. And I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna pause that for a second and say, you know what? I don't buy that. And the reason I don't buy that is because when you have volcanic ash and all that other crap that goes up into, uh, you know, the upper atmosphere, right? I still think it put more aerosols to cool the planet. Exactly, Asid. And that was my point I was going to make. When these volcanoes go off and they put all this stuff up into the upper atmosphere, a lot of aerosols and stuff like that. What that ends up doing, it ends up blocking the sun, which cools the planet. And we have a lot of volcanoes right now around the world that are going off. And I love it when if I bring up something like I said, and people go, "Oh, nothing's ever going to happen." Well, at some point, you know, something's going to happen. It's a matter of time. So it's if a super volcano, if one of the super volcanoes go, uh, it would not be a good day for human beings on this planet or animals on this planet. So yeah, the volcano in Iceland's going off again. I saw that too. Yep, I did see that. So, but yeah, it's just unbelievable. Howdy, everybody. Denton, Texas can't get no hotter. Yeah, I know Texas has been really bad. A lot of drought down there, and a lot of really just in crazy, crazy high temperatures. And the other thing too, what you got to remember is when we have, you know, what, a couple 100,000 new U.S. citizens crossing the border every week. That's a lot more people that are going to be using air conditioning and power and all those type of things. And our power grid is not able to handle that right now. I mean, our power grid is in a really, really, really rough situation. But people don't. They pretend everything is fine. Yeah, plant more food. The deer are hungry. Yeah, right. No rain here in Waterloo, New York. Well, I think actually, let me look and I'll tell you the extended forecast again here. So we had the last 2 days have been very nice here. Had a lot of rain before then. So let's see. All right. So after today, so today it was 90 degrees here. We got one, two, three, four, five, six, 7. The next 8 days, there is the at least a 50%, generally a 60% chance of rain over the next 8 days. So, and right now, just according to the extended forecast, which of course is subject to change, when my group is getting together next Friday, the 12th, right now it's saying it's going to be a nice day. But we can't hold our breath on that because every time we have a get together, it ends up raining for whatever reason. Uh, It just always seems like it rains every time. But so we got, and it doesn't mean it's going to be an all day rain. A couple of the days is like 70, 80% chance. But a 50% chance is, it'll probably be a halfway decent day. And then there'll be, showers after that. Hold on 1 second. I want to get an updated egg count. I guess it was quite warm in New York today as well. So we will check that out later. Send some of that rain to Texas. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain, just unbelievable amounts. All right, so we'll wait and see what she gets back to me. What do we got? 339 in the chat. We're at 157 on the thumbs up, guys. Um, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. And also, it really does make a difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you very much for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for that as well. So let's go back to bail reform a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Depending on what the crime is. See, my thing would be this, okay? If they want to do the catch and release and you get caught a second time within a week or 10-day period of time, then you don't get another get out of jail free card. That's when it needs to be, if they want to push this. Great video on SGT report on. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I already, well, you know what my thoughts are on that, Mary Lap. I've made that clear many, many times. Many times. But anyway, and it should be based on severity of the crime, your flight risk, all those type of things should go into effect as well. I mean, if you got into an altercation with somebody, and you have a full-time job and you're working and you have a family, depending on what was done, I don't think you should be in jail for that. I think you should be, you know, be able to continue to support your family and deal with the consequences of your action. Now, if you have a record that is long as my arm, and you're in and out of jail constantly, that's a whole different kettle of fish, because you basically, what you're doing is giving them, like I said, a free pass to go out and steal and rob and hurt people and do those type of things. I don't think that it's okay for anybody to ever have to be afraid that an old lady sitting in her house has to wonder when the next time the grandson's going to come and force his way in and do that type of stuff. What brand is your solar panels, and where did you order them from? Debbie, honestly, at the top of my head, I don't know. I would have to look at the back of the panels. I could show that on a video. I got them online. I just, there was a deal of, a place where I could go and get panels. Here, I want to give you a recommendation of this. Do not, and I will repeat this, do not buy used panels. They're used for a reason. Yes, they're cheap. Oh my God, I got them so cheap and great. Yeah, because that's what they are. They're cheap. Okay, their life expectancy is not there anymore. That's why they're rotating them out. So to me, I would rather buy new and know that I'm the first person using them and I'm going to be the last person using them. So that's where I'm at with solar panels. But yeah, I could probably tomorrow when I do a video, I'll go and I'll look at the back of the panels and I'll get the brand name of the panels. They're 360-watt panels. So here's another thing that I would, yeah, you get what you pay for. Another piece of advice as far as when it comes to solar panels. Okay, if you have a choice to get 200-watt panels, 180-watt panels, 255, 300-watt panels, or say 360-watt panels or 400-watt panels. They're all the same size. So it's going to take up exact amount of space. So you might as well spend the money one time. Get the better panels. Get your 400-watt panels if you can, or 360s. 360s are great panels. They work really, really well. So, you know, Okie Ford says if you're registered to vote, you're on the list to be called for jury duty. Well, I will tell you this: they don't just do that anymore. That is one of the reasons that they do that. If you're registered to vote, they definitely have you on that list for jury duty. But I believe they do it with the licenses now also. Um, Here's some advice to you guys. Okay, you can take it or leave it. I'm not telling you what to do when it comes to jury duty, right? So, who really wants to do jury duty? I sure don't. I don't believe in the system anyway. So, I'm not getting involved with jury duty. I'm not doing it. Um, you know what my ex, when she would get, um, the notifications would come in the mail, and of course, you have to fill this out. If you don't fill this out, you can go to jail. Blah 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 blah. And I would just take them and toss them in the garbage. And she'd be like, "Well, why are you? I'm going to get in trouble." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "Did they send it registered mail?" Okay. If they did not send it registered mail, then you never got it. Period. Simple as that. So that's again, if you want to do jury duty, knock yourself out. I don't like the system. I've never done jury duty. I have no intention of ever doing jury duty. So, but yeah, if you have not got something certified mail from the courthouse, it doesn't mean a freaking thing. So, yep, all you got to do is say, never got it. Never got it. I don't know what you're talking about. So, simple as that. And they're not going to arrest you. They're not going to put you in jail because you didn't do jury duty. I keep getting called for jury duty until I told them I believe in the death penalty for parking tickets. Haven't called back since. Oh my God, that's awesome. Uh, yeah, it's the whole system is so screwed up. Well, either that or you go in. Here's another way. You want to get out of jury duty? You go in there and you say, "I can tell if they're guilty just by looking at them." You'll be dismissed. But I don't even want to. I don't even want to go that far. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to bother. So yeah, with today's mail, not unlikely not to get it. That's for sure. So can they force jury duty on disabled individuals? I don't think they can. I don't think that they can. And again, like I said, all you got to do is just say, you just throw it out and pretend like you never got it. It's not like they're going to be knocking around and knocking on your door going, excuse me, we've sent you 4 notices for jury duty, and you haven't replied to them, so you're going to jail. They got they got better things to do, So nothing like serving jury duty and spending a night in a cheap motel that you're afraid to sleep in. Oh, nice. Yeah. So yeah, I just like I said, it's you can take that or not, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do. Um, you know, I just you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you what your options are, and how to get around it if you want to. If you want to serve jury duty and do your duty, knock yourselves out for that corrupt system. That there's an old saying that says there was somebody and they were like one of the YouTubers out there, and he was like, you always videotape your interactions with the police, because if you don't, when you go to court, who do you think the judge is going to believe, you or the cop? They're always going to believe the cop, and the prosecutor, the judge, the cop, and they're all working together. So that's just something that you have to realize. It's a rigged system, absolutely a rigged system. So I had to do the grand jury, never again. Well, again, it's jury duty is important for our justice system. It helps fend off corruption by our government. Go ahead and believe that. You can believe that all you want. I'm not saying that I'm not saying anything, but you go ahead and believe that. Asa said, I have 2 dash cams on every car I own. There is nothing wrong with that. Cameras keep cops honest. I saw a video, and another YouTuber, and he had a sports car, and he had driven by the police, and he was doing his video when he drove by the police. Okay, so he's got the cameras on him like this, and he's talking in there, and he goes, "Oh, those police officers just pulled out." He goes, "I wonder, he goes, are they coming after me?" Sure enough, they pulled him over. And the excuse that the cop used was, we heard loud music coming out of your car. He said, absolutely not. Not true. He says, I have a video camera right here. He goes, I was uh, doing a vlog. And I could show it to you to prove that I did not have loud music coming out of my car. Well, they backpedaled real quick then. But if he didn't have that on video, what's he going to do? You can say, no, I didn't. I think I told you guys that story that happened to me. All right. I'm on my way to work. I'll tell you, true story. On my way to work, and I was working night shifts as a nurse. So I'm in my uniform. I got my tag on. But when you look in the rear view mirror, what do you see? You see a bald dude with earrings and a goatee, right? So, you get labeled, you get profiled. And so what happened was, I'm behind this cop probably 7 miles at least. And I stayed, 2 car lengths behind him. I'm not afraid of the police. So what am I going to, I'm just, so we get into this one little town, and the cop pulls over, and I continue on down my way, and he pulls out and he pulls me over. And so he comes up to the car and he goes, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, I have absolutely no idea. I said, I was behind you for miles. And he said, well, you were driving too close to me. And I said, no, sir, I was not. I said, I was 2 car lengths behind you. And then he said, well, you had your high beams on. I said, absolutely not. I said, I would never have my high beams on. I hate it when people have their high beams on. And he says, well, give me your license and registration. And I was on the phone with a buddy of mine that lives in South Carolina, and him and I were talking. And I'm like, this MF is going to give me a ticket. I was freaking furious because I knew I hadn't done either one of those things. Okay. So he comes back up to the car, gives me my license and registration back, and says, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I'm just going to give you a warning because again, there's nothing on me. I got nothing on my license at all, right? So yeah, New York, yeah, exactly. And he was like, but I know you had your high beams on. And again, I said, sir, I said I did not have my high beams on, and he was fishing, is what it was. He looked in the rear view mirror. He saw the shaved head, the goatee, the earrings, profiled me, pulled me over for trying to fish for anything. Well, I'm on my way to work. I'm a nurse. I'm a professional. What do you think? I'm going to be wasted going to work? So just games. It's just games. And I can't stand those games. So I try to have, I'm always going to be respectful, you know, always going to be respectful. Yeah, you're right, Asif. You should definitely. I should get a dash cam for the car or the truck. I absolutely should. But it's unbelievable. Now I'm going to tell you what. Out here, since I've been out here, I've had no issues. I can say this in West Virginia. I've had no issues with the police. The one police officer I talked to at a gas station up in Morgantown, West Virginia, we had stopped to get gas, and I had told him, I said, yeah, I just bought property. This was last year. I go, yeah, I just bought property, down in West Virginia, and he was like, oh man, he goes, you're gonna love West Virginia. He goes, people are awesome. It's a great place to be. And so, and he was, there you go. It's the simple. It all. I mean, you're always going to have good and bad in every profession. So you can't label radar detectors are illegal in West Virginia, yes or no? Um, or is it Virginia? I know it's illegal in Virginia. I don't know about West Virginia, but I know that in Virginia, radar detectors are illegal. But to me, it's like, you know, just there's good and bad in every profession. There's always going to be, and it's never going to change. Let me see if Heather got back to me. Okay, she did. So anyway, yeah, but so I'm never going to label all police officers in the same category. Um, like I said, if I've always been respectful. I always say yes or no, sir, and it's not me kissing butt to anybody. I like my freedom, and I don't want to get jammed up. And when you act like an a-hole to a police officer, they can ruin your day. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Where possibly you might have gotten off with a warning. If you act like a jerk, you're getting that ticket. So, to me, I just, if you got me, you got me. What are you going to do? But like I said, in this situation that I dealt with there, it was, that's, so here's another one on my motorcycle. One time in all the years I've been riding motorcycle did I get pulled over. Small town. It actually ended up being a small town I graduated from high school from, which is Caledonia, Mumford. I was in Caledonia, and they have the monument in the center of town. If anybody knows Caledonia, New York, there's a monument, and there's like two spots where there's stop signs, and then there's two other spots where there's yield signs. So we were coming off the side street, which said yield. So I had looked, there was no traffic. So I went around, I just kind of eased out through and went through. So a cop spins around, comes up behind me, pulls me over, and he, I'm like, was like, why am I getting pulled over? Heather was with me. And so he was like, I'm not pulling you over. You didn't do anything wrong. He says, he comes out of his car, right? You didn't do anything wrong. He goes, I just pulled you over because I wanted to warn you coming around that monument, people don't stop and you have to be careful and blah, blah, blah. Giving me that song and dance, right? So then he says, do you mind if I run your license real quick? And I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead. Because guess what? Again, I have no points on my license. My license is valid. My bike is registered and insured. No big deal, right? So I let him run it. I didn't care. But now I realize what there's always that interaction in the system, you know, and there was no reason for him to pull me over, period. But again, at the time, I was wearing a muscle shirt, so my tattoos were all showing. I'm, got a vest on, riding a Harley, so of course, you're going to be profiled. It doesn't matter if you fit a certain stereotype. Okay, if you're a black man and you have dreadlocks, this is just an example. You have dreadlocks and you're playing heavy duty rap music out of your car, there's a good chance you're going to get pulled over. And it's because of the way you look, you're being profiled. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. So, but like I said, it's again, you see these videos of people acting like just complete tool bags to police officers, and I'm like, oh my god, and you're watching a cop show like a huge amount of restraint. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that every day. Profiling is illegal. Really? Wow. Thank you. It may be a legal life force, but it happens all the time. It happens all the time. I have a certain look. I don't look like middle-aged dad on his way to the grocery store at any time. you know, I am who I am. I look the way that I look. I look this way because here's the best part. Because of the way I look and my size, most people leave me alone. And guess what? That's what I want. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. If I want to engage with you, I'm going to engage with you. When people, meet me and they realize, hey, this is not a bad guy. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you one more funny story. One more funny story. And this was a dear friend of mine. I've known her since she was 18, and I was like 23 at the time. We've been friends forever. And her son was graduating from high school. And she had said to me, are you saying that you don't look like a van dad? No, no, not so much. So her son was graduating from high school. So she said, come out. This is going years ago. Come on out. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I said, it was a beautiful day. It was gorgeous. So I rode my Harley, right? So I'm riding my bike and I get there and I wear a half helmet. I don't wear a full face mask. I don't do any of that type of stuff. I'm just me. So I get there and I pull up and I take my gear off and, say hey to her and start talking. So I ended up talking with this guy and he goes, I got to tell you something. And I go, okay. He said, when you pulled up on that Harley and I took one look at you, I was like, oh my God, this is like some, real bad, mean person. He goes, you're really a nice guy. And I'm like, well, thank you. We're going to do head count in just a second, guys. I promise. I can never stay on schedule. It doesn't happen. But yeah, but it's like, again, what did he do? He profiled because of the way I looked. I'm riding on a Harley. I have tattoos. All that type of stuff. They automatically assume, and that's what people do all the time. So if you don't think people profile each other on a daily basis, you are delusional, because people make snap judgments like that every single day. All right. All right. So let's go ahead now, since we're behind schedule. And I'm going to blame JJ because he did not throw it up there saying to me, egg count time. It can't be my fault, right? So, anyway, what is the egg count? And yes or no, did Thick Neck lay today? So, give you guys a couple minutes to get your guesses in, and we will see where we are at. So, I'll give you a few minutes. He did say it? Okay, well, my bad. All right. If you have the same guess as Penny Lucky Granny with 6 eggs and no thick neck today, then you are 100% correct. So, congratulations, Granny. You've won absolutely nothing. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You got bragging rights until the next live stream. Ah, yeah. Nobody around here pays any attention. I get off on my tangents, guys. If I'm off on a rabbit hole squirrel hunt, it happens. So, but yep. So no, but like I said, profiling, it happens constantly. I mean, I'll give you a great example of profiling, and I've seen this on cars, okay, and I'm like, really, um, how stupid can people be realistically, okay? So they have the marijuana pot leaf on their car, and this is before where we're at now, where it's legal. Like New York, it's still now you can have 3 ounces of weed in your car, you know. You can grow marijuana in your home, all that type of stuff. It's all legal in New York now. You can smoke it out there in front of the cops, and nobody's going to say nothing. But back in the day, people would have like the pot leaf symbol on their car. Now, if anything in the world says, screams, pull me over because I probably have drugs in the car, it would be a pot symbol on your car. It makes no sense to me. Hella's right here. She's chilling. But yeah, it just that used to blow me away. Let's advertise what we're doing, or they got all the deadhead stuff on their car. Um, and I'm going to tell you what, police are not stupid, folks. If you got a bunch of deadhead stuff on your car, and you got the peace symbol, and you have the marijuana leaf on your car, there was probably yeah, the leaf. Yep, it was a leaf. Um, they were going to figure out that you probably got drugs in the car, so you're probably getting pulled over. You know, a deadhead. A deadhead was somebody that used to follow around the Grateful Dead. My sister did it for a little while. So what they would do is the Grateful Dead would go from this city to the next city to the next city, and the Deadheads were like groupies for the Grateful Dead, and they were at every show. My sister had a friend of hers, that was he had been to like 60 or 70 of the Grateful Dead shows. I'm like, holy crap! But that's what he did. He did that for a while. He followed them around for like a year, and it's like that was his thing. And I'm like, hey, whatever floats your boat. That was always kind of my motto. Whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you by. But one of my peds ER attending and training was a Grateful Dead fan. Oh, that's cool. Hey, well, I like some of their stuff. I was not a huge Deadhead fan, so I wasn't a big Grateful Dead fan. And obviously, once the lead singer died, that was the end of the band. So yeah, whatever blows your skirt up. That's funny. I like that. As long as you don't get your panties twisted, that's we got to make sure of that too. Um, you know, so crazy world today. I'll tell you what. I just the people that we have elected, that we have put in charge, it's frightening to me. It's frightening to me. So I just try to live my life. I try to treat people with respect and dignity. I ask the same in return. If they can't do that, I don't want nothing to do with those people. I don't want to waste my time. I'm not wasting my time or energy, um, you know, being negative. I got better things to do. Now I get pissed at myself. I will tell you that all the time. I get pissed at yeah, Cheech and Chong bumper sticker. There you go. Yep. But I get mad at myself. If I get mad at anybody, that's who I get mad at. You know. But yeah, my shoulder. I'm a little sore today. I was working on a project which shall remain nameless, but it was very physical activity. I will put it like that. And I plan on being out there again tomorrow doing some more of that. So, but I have to pace myself because I am not a young man anymore, and that is irritating. So, but I just I'll tell you one of the things in our society today. Okay, so you think about like when we were growing up, a lot of anybody that's in their 50s, 60s, we did not have internet, we did not have social media and all this type of stuff that they have now. We didn't even have phones. We didn't even have pagers didn't come out till later, so we didn't have any of that type of stuff. And Old fart, lol. Just kidding. I'm 60. That's all right, man. No worries. Um, but the difference is now you have social media, and whatever you put out on social media, everybody can see, including your bosses, people that want to hire you potentially. They will look at your social media. So, one of the things that I had said to Heather, because she was starting to post some political stuff, um, I said, don't put that out there on social media. I said, and she goes, well, let me ask you this. She said, if, because it was more left leaning stuff. If I was putting up right leaning stuff, would you say the same thing? And I said, absolutely, I would say the same thing because a potential employer down the road is going to go back and look at your social media history. And if you have slanted all one way and say that hiring person is the other way, you're screwed. Now, this way, if you don't have anything bad out on social media, because once it's out there forever. Now, see, I'm at a point in my life, I don't give a crap. Um, you know, to me, it's I put stuff up that I think is funny, that I think is gonna, it was amusing. Like the chart that we talked about early in the stream, the hot or it's the crazy hot matrix, that video. That's a hilarious video. And the guy that did that, it was freaking hilarious. To me, I found that funny. Some people may not think that that's funny, but I did. So I shared it on my Facebook page. And, like I said, a lot of times, I back in the day, I will tell you what I used to do, and I did it a lot. Did it a lot. I would wear T-shirts that would be considered offensive to a lot of people, and I would do it because I wanted to see if anybody would say anything to me, and they never did. But I got some looks, and that was fun enough for me, because you see the look, and they read the shirt, and oh, and they get disgusted, and I always thought that that was funny. Always thought that that was funny. So, but you just never know. But like I said, to me it was fun to get a rise out of people that because people are so pent up. People need to relax. Laugh at life a little bit. Just just enjoy life. Stop being so worried about being offended all the time. It just unbelievable. So there was Bad Dog. Bad Dog was a brand of T-shirts, and they had all kinds of different really inappropriate stuff. So I don't know if they still do that anymore. I mean, I haven't had one of those shirts, and I couldn't even tell you how long. But back when I was a single man and I was by myself, yeah, I used to do it just for kicks. So, but anyway, so that is no Bad Dog. It was not Rude Dog. Bad Dog. Uh, Ed, what brand trail cams would you recommend? Finally got my land in the bush, and the road is being cleared in the coming days. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you did. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. It depends on your affordability, what you can afford. There is higher end trail cams, then there's the cheaper trail cams. You were going to try, you don't want them to be out in the open, so that everybody can see them. You want to kind of have them be a little bit stealthy so that if somebody's coming in, they're looking around, they're not seeing it, they're not going to see it. And in that way, if they decide they want to try to take some of your stuff, you got them on camera and you can get them. So, but so yeah, that's. I'm on a 30 ban from Facebook for posting George Carlin. Oh my God, George Carlin's the best. I'm sorry, George Carlin's the best. That I now I've never been banned on Facebook. I stay away from a lot of stuff on there. I don't like post very often anyway. Um, I have Facebook more for just talking to people or connecting with you know people from my past and stuff like that. And you don't see everybody all the time, and that's all right. But Yeah, trail cams are cool because then you can kind of see, what kind of wildlife is out there on your property and stuff like that too. So that's kind of neat. But I was enjoying life the other day when I was mowing lawn and chasing a blue racer with a lawnmower. A blue racer? Okay. Jay says I'm a Facebook felon. That's funny. I know. I know. I have a friend of mine. She gets banned constantly. She's made up two or three other accounts. Um. Oh, a snake. Oh, I gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Oh, a lizard. Okay. I had no idea what you were talking about. All right. Well, thank you guys for clearing it. I'm like, what? So, but anyway, all right. We are at shout out. All right. So let's get going with this. See, actually, I'm doing this one on time. Huh? Don't hold me to it. It won't always happen all the time. But I got banned for stuff I found on Facebook. Oh my God, that's too funny. Yeah, they could kiss my behind. I could take it or leave it. If I didn't have Facebook, I could care less. All right. So first of all, we have Icky Can up in Canada doing shout outs. If you would go give him some support, I would appreciate. He's a good dude. You have Angry Prepper with Jason down in New York City. You have Alaskan Prepper with Rudy. I'm sure his suspension is over now, so I'm glad he's back up and going. Uh, oh, he's out of YouTube jail? Okay, yep, I figured he would be. It had to be a week already. You have Alaskan Granny. There's Sean James and My Self Reliance, same guy, two different channels. Really cool stuff what he's doing up in Canada with his building. Um, you have North Shore Preparedness also up in Canada. There's Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen, 80K Man up in the Adirondacks, Vizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, good stories that he does there. Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Real good guys. Definitely give them support as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star with Cody, real good guy as well. I like his channel. Red Poppy Ranch, Survival Lily. There's Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband and wife split their time between Alaska and Minnesota. Two different channels, like I said, a lot of good information. You have Green Greg's, Southern Prepper 1. There's Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy, the Nomadic Movement down in Panama, the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. Camping with Steve Wallace up in Canada, another really good guy. A lot of fun watching him do his stealth camping. You have Monkey Works, the Needy Homesteader, Boss of the Swamp. I've been watching him forever and a day. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, really good channel, a lot of good information there as well. Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. You have City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear, Mary Greeley News, giving you all the updates on Yellowstone and everything going on with earthquakes and stuff like that and the volcanic activity. You have Adapt 2030, Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer, Ryan Hall Y'all. If you want to get your weather, he's the guy to get it from. Really good channel. A lot of good information, and he keeps you up to date, and he eats, lives, and breathes it, which is good. Russell Brand. Love Russell Brand. He may not be your cup of tea because he's kind of more of a tree hugging hippie type of guy, but he makes you think, and he doesn't take sides. He just says it like it is, and I like that about him. Deep South Homestead. You have The Outsider, The Fit Farmer. There's Prepper Princess, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's, The Prepared Mind out in California. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. Then there's East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Griddy is the last one. So they are also in Tennessee. So yeah, Bushcraft Bear is in Germany, right? The last I saw as well. Yep. So I don't know what he was doing over in Germany, but that is that. So, but anyway, yeah, Russell. I'll tell you what, Russell Brand, um, he he dances around that line really, really well, really, really well. And so, you have to be. Um, he has family in Germany, his mother and other family. Oh, okay, all right, Randy Romines, thank you. But you on YouTube, you have to be so careful. You say the wrong thing, and they give you a strike, like they just did to Rudy, Alaskan, you know, prepper up there, and it is what it is. You piss them off or say the wrong thing, and that's it. So I just watched Bushcraft video, and he's in Paris. Wow, okay, nothing wrong with that. Oh, Heather's Etsy store. Yes, let's talk about Heather's Etsy store real quick. So Heather has her Etsy store as well, where she makes jewelry. She also does a lot of crocheting, and she enjoys doing that. And so if you have a request of what you want, um, yep, JJ even put it up there. Don't forget Heather. I always do. I don't know why. I just always do. But yeah, she's got her stuff going on there. So if you would like to support her in any way, that would be very appreciated. And thank you ahead of time. Because the more that you buy from her, the less money Dad has to give her. She's actually working though now. She got a job, so which is good. And she's such a good kid. She is such a good kid. And I'm not just saying that because she's my kid, but she's awesome. Actually, I'll tell you what. All three of them. Eddie's good. He's doing okay. He's doing his thing. And Josh is amazing. Josh is such a good kid. He's so squared away. I would like to think I had a hand in all of that, but all we can do, is the best that we can. There is no manual. I saw a funny meme today, and this person had, and it was one guy to start with, and he was singing about, if you hit your kids, it's so bad and it's horrible, and then the other guy came on, like, he'd like taken that blurb, and then he did this whole song about how, spare the rod, spoil the child type of thing, and it was amazing. It really was, and he was, basically talking about the fact, you cannot be friends with your children when they're children. You have to be their parents. You know, when they become of age and they are adults, it is a different story. The relationship changes. It is what it is. That's how it goes. But when they're children, and when I say children, I mean 15, 16, 17 years old, it's a tough time for kids. And they need support. They need parents to be parents, not their friend. You are not their friend. So, but it's my birthday today. I got me a 30 pack of PBR. Oh my God. Well, good luck drinking that, Tim. Woo! PBR? Really? No good beer where you live? They don't sell any good beer? Uh, Buddy Brown song. I think maybe Tony Blackmoon. I think so. But it was very, very funny. Very funny video. And but he's right, Your daughter is unique. She's a beautiful soul. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. Heather just has a very genuine, good heart. She is just that type of person. So, and how many grown people turn into kids when they go to Disney World? Yeah, I never, I went to Disney World when I was 14. My mom took us down there because she said she always wanted us to go. Okay. We had a good time. It was fine. I've never been back. No desire to ever be back. To pay for overpriced crap and have to fight crowds of thousands and thousands of people, wait in line for hours to go on a ride, and you're paying ridiculous amounts of money to do so? No thanks. I will I will go off and do a road trip and have a good time and pick my. We went to and I think it was in Georgia, Stone Mountain, I believe it was what it was called, when we went on our trip a couple years ago, Heather and I. She said it was in a book, that she had read, and and it wasn't that far from where we were, and I think it was in Georgia, and it was a German couple that had carved out, out of the rocks, and it's called Stone Mountain. It was very, very cool. And of course, the time of year that we went, it was there was nobody there, so it was perfect. You know what I mean? To me, that's perfect. If you can go in someplace, see everything that you want to see, do the things that you want to do, and not be with thousands of your closest friends, to me, that's perfect. So, thunderstorm is starting to come in. Just heard some thunder. Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to start raining here. I earlier. Let me look at something real quick. I just want to see what it says for the rest of tonight. Yeah, I don't have. Let's see. We'll see what when they're saying. Oh yeah, I'm not looking at rain tomorrow until like after 2, so that gives me time to get some stuff done before the rain comes. So that'll be good. But I'm 57 and I still watch Saturday morning cartoons and eat my cereal at the coffee table. Oh my God, you're definitely dating yourself with what you're saying there. Um, now, JD, do you still get up and turn the channel or the channels manually, or do you actually use the remote? Now, in JJ's house, he has the phone still attached to the wall, the rotary phone with the extension cord, so that he can only go. But you would get the long extension cord, so you could talk on the phone. I'm definitely dating myself. So you get like the 30-foot long cord on your phone, so you could like walk around the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich while you were on the phone and all that type of stuff. I wanted to go to Gettysburg to see if there are ghosts. I actually have been to Gettysburg too. I think Heather and I went on that trip too. We went to Gettysburg, and that was amazing. Absolutely, very, very surreal. It's a very strange energy in Gettysburg when you're on at the battlefields and out there and stuff like that. It really. Um, I was actually there at Stone Mountain as a teen while they were chiseling on the stone. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Debbie. Yeah, no, it was really, really nice. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I remember those days. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Of course, I'm behind schedule once again. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Franklin County, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Western New York, South Carolina, Auburn, California, Alabama's in the house, Inverness, Florida with Clyde, Vegas, Somerset, Florida, or Summer sorry, Connecticut, Dallas, Texas, West Virginia, Waterloo, New York, Nebraska, BC, Canada, the Pennsylvania Wilds, Central Arizona, Butler County, Ohio, Ocala, Florida, Fort Worth, Texas, Albany, New York, Lake Brownwood, Texas, Hillsboro, Oregon, Trenton, Florida, Bumstead, Florida, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Carlisle in the UK, and glad to have you here. Newfoundland is in the house, very nice. Missouri in the Ozarks, Louisville, Kentucky, Rolling Meadows, Illinois, North Highlands of California, St. Augustine, Florida, Erin, Tennessee, Littleton, New Hampshire, Chicago, Illinois, Las Vegas, Nevada. A lot of fun out in Vegas. Been there a few times. Always enjoyed my time in Vegas. Vegas is a blast. So Lickskillet, Alabama. That's a pretty. I like that name. That's a good name. That is a good name. Still doesn't beat Nowhere, Oklahoma, though. Uh, the Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd fan. Very good. But anyway, guys, we're all over the place. We're a huge network of people. We're a huge family. Have you tried the zip line in Vegas? No, I never did that. Nope. We have Northern Utah in the house with Grace. No, I saw that they had that set up, but I never did that. So, Anyway, Vegas 105 today and no rain. Wow. Yeah, it's a little warm, but it's a dry heat. 105 is 105. We got Edgewater, Florida's in the house, Pennsylvania. So anyway, guys, again, we're all over. We're the ones that can make a difference now. Uh, Even though we're going to be laughed at, discredited, people think we're crazy, that's fine. Let them think that. You should still try to help them if you can. We got Phil down in New York City. Very nice. So, but yeah, like I said, always continue to try to help people because in what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people that need help in a post event. We're going to be able to help educate people, teach them how to survive to a degree, but we just got to try to do the best we can. It would not be pretty. A worst case scenario, and I hope it never happens. I'll be honest with you. I hope a worst case scenario never happens. But you know, it is. Yeah, I know they have zip lines. Yep, they do have the zip lines here in West Virginia. But I just worst case scenario would be an absolute nightmare because most people are not prepared. The majority of people are not prepared. When you have 93% of the people in this country do not have a 2 week supply of food and water in their home, that should tell you something. And that's scary. That is very scary. So, but anyway, so I want to thank moderators again who do an absolutely incredible job here. Very much appreciated keeping the chat clean. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. It does make a big difference to me. I can focus on trying to answer comments and that type of stuff, and you guys get rid of the garbage, which is awesome. So there's always going to be people that want to try to cause trouble, and I never could understand that. I just really don't. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So, but anyway, I want to thank all you guys also for being here. These are always fun. I do enjoy these chats, and it's a good time. So I appreciate all of you as well. Remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we could figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. What we could do working together, um, nobody could stop us. Nobody. And that's what we should be doing. We should stop letting them divide us over race, religion, political affiliation, the vax, the unvax. These are all games, and it happens constantly, constantly. Alan Rice from Southern West Virginia, very nice. We got to put that crap aside. We really do. If we could come together, like I said, no stopping us. And they don't want us to come together. Do you understand that? That's the goal is not to let us unite, because if we united, then we would deal with the real issues, which is big business and the government. Imagine that. What a concept. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. Um, no guarantees. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So anyway, also remember, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals, from achieving your dreams, whatever you have going on, is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from that negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? Um, I will see you guys all in the next stream. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope you're safe. You're continuing to prep. You're continuing to get ready, because we do not know how much time we have. And when that time comes, it's going to be like, holy crap, I wish I had more time. So I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.